and I think it's a common sense approach where both teams do the same.
So Citibank are in possession, winning that all-important drop ball. Hope the replacement goalkeeper, and Makan, came on in the second half, so he should be fairly fresh legs.
Here we
First
go.
chance to attack. Close, but
yeah. No, to be fair, he'll be disappointed to miss the target. But the big thing is, as you mentioned earlier, now a turnover of the ball. So now, obviously, the USRC have the ball and they can just work their way up the pitch very easily.
The City players deciding to try and keep them on the pitch.
Yeah, it becomes a problem now because Marlon Harewood, as you can see, we can see, is the back man, where he's never left the attacking half previously in any game. So it's different things that he has to work on now.
So, but he himself is marking another defender in Christian Cordero.
This is where USRC do this really well. Because if you remember, the boy's obviously not a goalkeeper as well. It's a good save.
So the ball breaks. Is that a penalty? Referee has no hesitation. A yellow card for Chris Hope.
Yeah, it's the right decision. You know, in English Premier League, that'll be a red card. But you know, what a chance they have now, USRC, to win the match. And I think this would be a shock if they were to win.
So that was a definite dive in from the goalkeeper.
Oh yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. And he knew his own reaction. To be fair to Chris Hope, he knew he'd give away a penalty.
Yeah.
Can he save it? That's the big question.
So Daniel with the kick, left-footed. No mistake.
Yeah. As I said, they have a way of playing USRC. It's certainly in 4v4, and it's worked again.
So perhaps that would be considered an upset, but USRC are previous winners of this cup competition for the Masters. So congratulations to Citibank and commiserations, I should say, and they will come back again next year. But well done to USRC and deserved victory.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no doubt about it. And, you and I can see Frank Sinclair walking towards us, not a happy boy. But to be fair to USRC, they played it really well.
So the next game will be the Singapore Cricket Club Tigers versus the Wallsend Boys Club. So, Wallsend Boys Club.
Yeah,
something very close to your heart, Peter.
Absolutely, yeah. I spent a lot of my young career there, you know, and you know, it's the 50th anniversary in terms of being there. So this is a brilliant thing for us to be a part of as Wallsend, and the people make us feel very welcome.
8, Matt Hoolan, 11, Mike Hemingway, and 6, Martin Guru.
So
and for
Singapore Cricket Club,
in 1, Rudolf Hollander,
who are
3, Darren Timmins,
a team, as you will guess from their name, up from Singapore, visiting for the 16th time in 16 years of this tournament, a regular part of the fabric of the Soccer Sevens is the mixture of international and local teams that
and
come.
I think it works very well, I have to be honest with you. I think it's obviously great for us to come from the other side of the world, but for the local boys to be playing against the big boys, that's good as well.
So SCC playing in their black and yellow stripes, and the Wallsend Boys Club playing in the white strip with the yellow and green sash.
Yeah, I have to say we've been really looked after with our kits. We've got 3 different colour kits, and they all look immaculate. Canterbury have done well for us there.
And with the conditions here, having a change of kit at some point during the proceedings.
We're lucky, the professional clubs, that we can change a kit for every game, but it's not so easy for some of the boys.
PJ Roberts, the captain of SCC, in possession. Under pressure from Bridges. Referee not too happy about that. Michael Bridges introducing himself to the opposition.
Yeah, I'd have to say Michael Bridges thinks he's one of our fastest players, so he shouldn't have to do that.
Monahan. Azram flicking it forward, but tied it up at the back.
We're lucky we have Rudy in goal this year. Rudy Hollander, who's a top goalkeeper, normally plays for Ajax, so that's a massive bonus for us this year.
Yes, Rudy, a former winner here himself with Ajax over the past 2 years.
It'd be nice for him to do the hat-trick with a different team.
Certainly would.
I'm being selfish now.
So I'm sure he would be very happy with that situation. Oh, the first opportunity for Charles, for John Gemba Charles. He scored twice yesterday, I believe.
Yeah, he scored 3 overall in the tournament.
Overall.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is a good chance. He should score here. Certainly should work the goalkeeper.
He's just getting his body position slightly wrong and under the ball. Gives the Singapore Cricket Club possession. Up on the left-hand side. Keeper was put into a little bit of pressure there, Scott Starr, having to scuff the ball away.
A lot of the also, you know, for me, if possible, your centre forward or your main front man, if you like, should always try and stay up and around their box. Not always possible, I understand that, but you know, and that's why Lloyd was able to put him under pressure.
So Elliott gets away from his man, shapes the strike.
Yeah.
Defender in the way.
We were lucky we were right behind that. It was well on target.
Ball's in possession again. Sowu. Out to Bridges. Comes inside. Has to go out once more. Gemba Charles. Elliott and Bridges combine. Good defending from SCC though.
Yeah, it was good defending. You know, certainly in the box you've got to be careful you don't give a foul away, but it was good defending.
Possession for Wallsend. Darren Timmins. Wide on the right-hand side. Gemba Charles. Still a great athlete, John Gemba Charles.
Yeah, absolutely. I know I was talking to Tony Seeley and he said he couldn't even get into his first team 5 years ago. So yeah, he's done okay. But I think the big plus for us is Darren Timmins. You know, we know him from obviously Wallsend, but nobody would have heard him here with all due respect. But he's been excellent, to be fair, in the tournament.
Bridges. Wallsend dominating possession. SCC not able to get hold of the ball. Bridges again. Timmins rolls the ball up to Sowu. Shot from distance was easily intercepted.
Was that a shot?
Possibly not.
It's certainly not the best one he's ever hit.
Hemingway maintains possession well while under pressure, but he's got a bank of white shirts in front of him, has to turn away.
That's the thing about the locals, they're quite happy to keep the ball and just go slow, 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 and then hopefully they can quicken up.
Yeah, the SCC team, very experienced in playing sevens. Singapore Cricket Club had their own sevens tournament that ran in January this year. So they have an opportunity not only to play in this tournament every year, but also their own.
Yeah, which is good. I've heard it's a very good tournament and certainly a great place.
Wallsend back in possession. Into the last minute of the first half. Score is still 0-0. Elliott with opportunity. But SCC come away with the ball. Possession given away. Timmins. Wallsend playing down the right-hand side. Bridges. Osuwu. Snapshot from him, but too close to the goalkeeper.
Yeah, good save, comfortable save really. You know, at this level, certainly in the Masters, most of the goalkeepers have seen him do most things, but a bit quicker from Wallsend at least.
So time ticks down towards the final 7 minutes. Hollander, a little bit of a flutter at the end.
Yeah, it was worth a risk, you know, when you look at the clock, the time. You know, you've got the ball in their half, they can't score, it's worth a risk.
So the half-time score is Singapore Cricket Club Tigers 0, Wallsend Boys Club 0. And this is the second semi-final of the Masters competition for the Cup, and a chance to meet USRC in the final later this afternoon.
It's a great chance for either team. You know, USRC obviously just played, obviously went down to 4-man, but yeah, I think both teams would be hoping to play in the final now.
And USRC, despite going through on the golden goal, managed to do it with a limping team to some
Absolutely.
To some extent.
And you know, the good thing for them is, you know, come to the final, it's one more game, so you can give it your all in one more game, knowing you don't have to worry about the next game, if you like.
Tony Seeley barking some orders to his boys.
Nothing unusual there, eh?
Nothing unusual at all. Tony Seeley, a very accomplished professional in his day, and a Wallsend old boy. So SRC, yes, SCC will get our second half underway in a moment. Referee will blow his whistle for the second 7 minutes. Monahan brings in Hoolan.
I think this game probably proves more than ever that the first goal is massive. You know, when you get the first goal, you can dominate the game and just play it at your pace.
And maintaining possession, making the other team chase after you in the conditions like these. Roberts. Charles gets a foot in. Brings possession back. Bridges. Watson. Wallsend content to bring the ball forward at their pace.
Yeah, I think the big thing Wallsend are trying to do, they're trying to drag, obviously, Singapore out so that they can get in behind them, but Singapore probably a bit too experienced for that.
Lloyd Asowu brings in Gemba Charles. No options going forwards, come back to Bridges. Asowu, Gemba Charles, waiting for the ball to come up to him, just allowing the Singapore defender to get a boot in.
Yeah, brilliant defender, but I have to be honest, from my point of view, Lloyd Asowu has to make a tackle there.
So SCC are breaking. Hemingway. Azran, first shot of the day from him. Honored a content just to put it over, but didn't look 100% comfortable.
I think he looked far from comfortable. When you look at the size of him, he should have caught that. When you look at him playing for Ajax, obviously being a top keeper, I think it'd be disappointing, but obviously didn't want to take any risks. Yeah, he should have caught that. It might have even went over the bar, the size of him.
People will say, if he doesn't go in, I've done my job.
Absolutely, and that's what goalkeepers do. You know, that's what the judge done. Can you keep the ball out of the net?
A snapshot from Hemingway on the volley.
Yeah, poor. I always find that watching this, how the corner kick routines are very poor.
So Wallsend in possession. Watson.
Thank you.
Gemba Charles. Bridges. Asowu. Bridges, one defender to beat, goes the curler. Not too far away.
Yeah, again, you know, I mentioned earlier about free kicks. You have to make the goalkeeper work, you know. Obviously he's gone for the top corner, but you have to hit the target. Yeah, here we go, cuts inside. First bit's really good, but for a man of his quality, that's a bit poor.
So SCC come forwards. Cajero. Hoolan. Cajero again. SCC maintaining possession, using the full width of the pitch. Roberts. First time cross. Not too bad an effort, trying to get it out on target. It's never easy.
Trying. No, but not easy when you're facing away from the goal.
Good first touch, Masu. Good back brought down, takes an early free kick. Charles should keep this in. 2-on-2. Charles looking to take on the defender. Masou with a great chance.
Good goalkeeper.
That's great goalkeeping.
Yeah, it was.
From cont'd.
Yeah, brilliant goalkeeping. You know, it's probably a game-saving piece of individual goalkeeping, if you like. It's not easy because you don't get a lot to do in the game, but he did really well there.
Showing great bravery to go down at the feet of the big Wallsend
he's
striker.
a braver man than me. I'm not sure I would have.
Masou. Bridges. And there's an overlap. Chance to pull the ball back. And
again, good goalkeeping. Come down, narrowed the angle. Made it difficult for John Watson to get it up and over him.
cont'd dominating his area. Corner kick to Wallsend. Doesn't miss the first man. And nicely tidied up by the Tigers. Monaghan. Certainly not overawed by the former professionals in the ranks of the Wallsend.
No, absolutely not. No, and fair play to them. You know, they look very comfortable. There hasn't been many chances in the game, but it's about time for somebody to try and take one with 2 minutes left.
So we enter into the last 2 minutes. Score still even at 0-0. The early ball easily cut out. Hemingway's up on his own, getting some support now from Hoolan. Tried to run at Timmins, but easily dealt with.
Yeah, Timmins is a good player. He's been a really outstanding player for us in this tournament.
Bridges across the middle. Charles. CC packing the ranks of the defence. Masou. Ball breaks for him. And the first goal from Lloyd Owusu breaks the deadlock.
Goal for Lloyd Owusu.
Just over 1 minute to go. That probably is the goal that will decide this time.
Absolutely, yeah. If it wasn't, it would be a big mistake on Wallsend part now. Michael Bridges looking for the 1-2. Obviously gets a bit of luck there where he miscontrols it, but just toe pokes it in the corner. And unfortunately for cont'd, he couldn't get there.
Very underrated way to score goals, the toe poke. Romario made a career out of it.
It almost doesn't matter how it happens, absolutely. They all count as this here.
So we're into the last minute of this game. SCC, last throw of the dice. Ball just wouldn't break for Hewland.
No, good tackle by John Watson there. Certainly a chance-saving tackle.
Throw in for SCC. Need to get themselves in a position to shoot as quickly as possible. Ball's come back to Monaghan. Will he shoot? Unfortunately, no power on that. Flicked off the back of the defender, and easy for Hollander just to mop up at the back.
No, it was, as you say, a simple save. Simple save.
And there the referee blows his final whistle. So clearly very, very pleased with his goal, his contribution. They've sent the Wallsend Boys Club through to the final of the Masters, where they will play USRC. And we always thought a single goal would be the difference.
Yeah, absolutely. I think when you look at it, obviously they're also only playing 7 minutes each way. So yeah, good win for Wallsend, and a good effort for certainly Neil Jensen and Tony Seeley for all their efforts.
First final of the day, it's the Masters Plate final between the KCC veterans and the Hong Kong Football Club chairman.
So commiserations there to the Tigers as they leave the tournament, but it's the Wallsend Boys Club that will progress to the final later on this afternoon, where they will face USRC.
5, Adam McManus. 4, Ryan Gonzalez.
So the next game is the final of the Masters Plate. which will be the KCC veterans versus the Hong Kong Football Club Chairman Select.
And for the Hong Kong Football Club
The football club playing in their familiar blue strip, and KCC, the Kowloon Cricket Club, playing in the green and white stripes.
Mark Granger, 4, Mark Norman, 22, Simon Page.
Team photograph at the beginning.
And number 15, Eric Palmetto.
Team shake hands.
And this final, 10 minutes each way, 3 minutes for half time.
Right.
And if it's tied at full time, we move straight.
Crowd getting some liquid on board. Keep themselves cool in the afternoon heat. And it will be Football Club Chairman Select to kick us off. This is the first final of the afternoon, the Masters Plate competition. These two teams both finishing third in their groups yesterday, which enabled them to have progressed to a final. 10 teams have contested the Masters competition this weekend, and the top 3 progressed to the Sunday football, with the bottom 2 in each group getting Sunday off and a chance to watch instead of play.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they would like a Sunday off, because obviously you come here for the whole weekend ideally. But as you say, it's the format this year is a bit different.
So Page to Norman. Out to Richard Lant. The oldest player in the tournament, Richard Lant. I think revealing his age would be unfair.
No, I think you have to tell me. I didn't know that. He's a good lad, Landy, but if you don't tell me, I'll have to ask him.
Let's just say he's over 50, shall we?
Is he really?
Yeah. Mark Granger, number 7, almost entirely single-handed responsible for getting the Chairman Select into this final, to scoring 2 great goals yesterday.
Yeah, the one against the Mobsters especially was a brilliant chip.
But possession given away. KCC, their first opportunity. Alan McManus, guest player this afternoon. Former professional from Scotland.
Yeah, I was going to say that they seem to have a few Scots in their team, Kowloon.
Yeah, used to play for Hearts. Solid defending from Mark Norman. KCC not too happy with that decision, but
I think they've got a good right. I think it's really frustrating. You can see it hits the defender. We're obviously sitting here right in view. It definitely should be a corner. The thing that's really frustrating is the man from Hong Kong Football Club basically appealed for a goal kick, and he knew it was a corner.
oh, it's a defender will claim anything they can.
To be fair, defender, forward, everybody claims.
Everyone playing. KCC have an opening on the right-hand side. Bit of space. First touch has let him down, but the ball's still in. Grady. Stozlowski was unlucky there with his first touch. Just took the ball away from him, and the opportunity disappeared.
Yeah, when you look at any level of football, your first touch is massive, but especially here.
So Lant to Norman. Two opportunities to score yesterday, Mark Norman, but couldn't get his name on the score sheet. Lant. Hong Kong Football Club dominating possession at the moment. Page. Norman. Patient play with some space to run forwards. Ricochet there, just giving the free kick to KCC.
To be fair, he couldn't get out of the way. It was just whacked at him by his own teammate, so it wasn't ideal, but he tried to get out of the way.
Perhaps a defender's pass in that.
Absolutely.
So KCC will have their their opportunity now with possession. Long rivalry between these two teams. Nicely set up, and a first strike from Alan McManus. Ball bobbled in front of him. Smile on his face, but I'm sure he won't be too happy with that.
No, the first bit was good. The touch was good. But obviously, as I keep saying, I've said so many times already that you've got to hit the target, make the goalkeeper work.
Granger tries to release Eric, but can't do so.
You're a scout watching this Scout League because
McManus clearly taking up a position at the back and something of a playmaker role.
Yeah, I think, you know, that's you have to have somebody that can play at the back, that's intelligent, can pass forward and make a difference.
Gonzalez to Grady. Oh, great opportunity here. That's a bit more like it.
Goal there. KCC veterans.
Marcel Sosowski finally hitting the target.
Yeah.
Marcel Sosnowski.
Yeah, it's a brilliant strike. It's a great back heel here. Puts it straight in his path. Great first touch and then strike. Fantastic strike. You know, at any level of football, that's a brilliant strike of the ball. So clean. Goalkeeper doesn't even have time to move.
So that gives KCC the lead 5 minutes into this final in the first half. So 1-0 against the Hong Kong Football Club Chairman Select.
Hopefully because of that, the game they might open up now, because obviously Hong Kong have to make an effort to get back.
Football club must try and get hold of the ball and create something now. Possession counts for nothing now if you can't turn that into a goal.
Absolutely. And when you look, they've got a minute of this half and then obviously 7 of the second.
So this plate final will be 10 minutes each way. All the finals will be 10 minutes. So some extra work for the veterans to do. 5 players allowed to be under 35.
Is that what it is, yeah?
And then everybody else, the other 5 players, must all be over 40.
Interesting. Be an old team when you add them together.
If you add them all together, I think Richard Lamb would probably still be the oldest.
Yeah.
KCC in possession. Taking all the pace out of the game. Daniel Schick in goal. Looking to create something, pushing it forward. Lamb plays safe. So that gives possession back to KCC when club really do need to get hold of it. A little bit more time in this final than in the group games, but still without the ball.
No, absolutely. It seems as though it's even more difficult because, as you say, 10 more minutes in terms of 10 each half. It does make a difference. It really does make a difference, especially when you're chasing, as you just said.
Grady, another former Scottish professional, time at Dundee. Gonzalez has the pace to keep that in. So throw in. Duncan will take it. Norman to Lant. Got a man out in front of him. Nice ball down the side. Just getting out in front of
Yeah,
Eric.
it's amazing how it gathers speed. Certainly going to the wings. You know, when you look, there's a camber on the pitch. When it goes wide, it always seems to gather pace. And unfortunately, there from Lanty, his ball, it was unable to be capitalised on.
So Stick will restart the game. Short ball, maintains possession.
Yeah, where you look at now, 6 players in each half, as in 3 defenders, 3 attackers. There comes a point when you have to try and put them under pressure. Otherwise, it's a long way back.
The game being stretched. That's just how KCC would like it. Gives them room to play and to take the time off the clock. 2 minutes to go, just under.
Oh, who is that shot?
And a corner one. Ali wins the corner and will take it. attempt in there. Needed 2-2 because there was an opportunity.
He made a meal of that. Wish he could show us a replay. He even had a little moan up. I'm only giving him stick because he looks after us really well. He's obviously from our part of the world, and since we started coming to Hong Kong, he's been absolutely brilliant with us.
Page. Eric now on the left-hand side of the pitch. Duggan. Back to Norman. Norman trying from distance. Warms the goalkeeper hands, but once again returns possession to KCC.
Yeah, it is an almost like a 50-50 situation where you do have a shot, but as you rightly say, are they then almost giving possession away?
Well, the clock is ticking down, and the referee does indeed blow his whistle for the end of that first half. So KCC 1-0 in the lead. Marcel Sodowoski with the only goal of that half, separating the two teams.
Yeah, to be fair, it wasn't a great game in terms of the first half, but it was a brilliant strike for the goal, and a goal worthy of winning any game.
Half-time team talks.
When you watch that, do you think much is going on in terms of trying to organise, reorganise, or do you just think they're just paying lip service to it?
Well, you would expect the Hong Kong Football Club to be told to press and to get the ball back as quickly as they possibly can.
Without a doubt.
And that if there's any player that's feeling with tired legs, to put his hand up now and come off, because they need as much energy as possible.
No, it's a good point. It's a really good point. But as you know, not many people volunteer to come off, so it's a catch-22 for the coach. You know, do I wait a couple of minutes, 3 or 4 minutes, or do I make a change now? And it'll be interesting to see if they make a change now.
With the extra time of 10 minutes each way, there's an extra minute for half-time to allow the players to catch their breath. I think that's Anto Grabo with his back to us there.
Yeah, Anto played for us last year in Wallsend, in our boys' club, 10 if you like, and obviously technically what a brilliant player he was. You know, a bit like me, as Tony Seeley told me, my legs have gone. Anton has probably gone a bit more than mine.
Anto Grabo had a very successful career in Europe, played UEFA Cup football himself, and then moved over to Hong Kong, and for a period of time was the best player in this league.
Brilliant, and to be fair to him, he absolutely loves the game. You know, every time you see him, obviously every year we get to speak to him, talk about football, and he obviously understands the game. And as you say, he was a top player. So fair play to him. I saw him at the very start of the tournament when there was under 18s and under 15s playing. He was organising them as a coach. So great that he loves all forms of the game.
Yes, Grabo spends a lot of his time these days coaching the youngsters. It's a very significant program in youth football at the football club.
No, to be fair, yeah, unbelievable. It's, we love coming here, and obviously particularly me. So yeah, the way they treat me, the way the people treat me, it's like I'm from another planet in a positive way, because it really is incredible the way people accept me and basically ask me for autographs and whatever, and treat me like a special person. But I'm no different to you or anybody but they make me feel like I'm royalty.
Well, you're more than welcome to come back every year, Peter, because the ambassador that you are for Newcastle United in football is second to none. So we'll get underway. Second half, KCC against HKFC. A 1-0 lead for KCC. This is the plate competition in the Masters. Gonçalves, he's the captain this afternoon for KCC. Dealt with by the goalkeeper at the second attempt, Mark Devonshire.
Yeah, I was talking to Mark yesterday, and his son played for West Ham a couple of years ago, didn't he, in the 21 competition?
That's right, for Aston Villa. His
yeah,
son,
oh, sorry, Aston Villa.
Yeah, he's playing for Aston Villa.
Yeah, he did a great job for Aston Villa. I know Gordon Cowans was very pleased with him.
I think they won the Shield that year.
They did.
They came away with some silverware.
Yeah, they did. And hopefully for their sake, they might do the same again this year.
Lant out to Page. Granger. Trying to find some space, but none there. There's a foot
Good race
race
for Lanty here.
Lant against Grady. Grady's beaten him. Only Devonshire in the way. But being at his near post. James Grady making no mistake.
Yeah, fantastic goal. Wait for it to come back up here. You know, I think.
Number 7, James Grady.
I think Lanty thought he could get him here, but then once he did, Lanty was 50-50 whether to bring him down. But it's a brilliant finish, really good finish. You know, the 2 goals in particular that they've scored have been outstanding.
Well, we've seen teams in the main competition come back from 2-0 down, so it's not unheard of.
No, absolutely. And as you say, the extra 3 minutes this half, hopefully for Hong Kong, will make a difference.
Granger. Fitz. Duggan. First opportunity for him to shoot. Testing the goalkeeper, but Daniel Schick equal to it.
No, good save. I think when you look at the way they move the ball around the box and how they have people on the edges of the 6-yard box, I think it's clever. I think we have a bit to learn in terms of that. It's almost they play it like a basketball game where they basically surround the goal, as it were, or the basket, and it's good to watch sometimes.
Corner kick to Football Club. Taken short. Granger. Trying to put the cross in, but it's blocked. Hacked away. Goalkeeper makes the 7th outfield player. As Football Club look to get something out of this attack to put them in with a chance. Nicely done by Schick.
Yeah, it's fantastic goalkeeper.
Gonçalves.
Yeah, they can manage the game how they want now, can't they? Kowloon, they just pass it around, make them come and get the ball, and then from their point of view, just hope they pick them off for a 3rd.
Just 3 minutes gone, but KCC already playing possessional football. Grady does well under pressure. Maintains possession. Gonçalves goes all the way back to his goalkeeper. Under a little bit of pressure. Norman's first touch keeps the ball in possession. Granger across to Page. His first time and takes a deflection, but nicely struck. And just enough off the defender to find the top corner of the net.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know whether it took a slight deflection, but a brilliant, brilliant strike. You know, when you look at all 3 goals in this game, the quality of all 3 goals, you know, clean hit, clean strike. You know, we can just see it here. I don't know if we got a slight deflection, but yeah, a slight deflection, but maybe that deceived the goalkeeper. But in terms of the strike, lovely, clean strike.
Simon Page has played for many years at the Football Club, former first-team player here. Still got a decent shot on him, as you just demonstrated. So 2-1 now. Game not yet over. Still a lead for KCC. Ali into the box, ricochets off. Doesn't win the corner he's looking for. Asghar Ali.
Should be an interesting 5 minutes now, what's left. Obviously with them getting the 2nd goal, makes a massive difference. That's what I keep saying to our boys, you have to get the 2nd goal. When you look at it, Kowloon getting the 2nd goal gives them that cushion. So now they're obviously 2-1 up. It makes a big difference.
So, substitute Graham Lane, put the goalkeeper under pressure.
Yeah, all of a sudden a bit nervous Kowloon and just needlessly giving the ball away.
Fitz trying to thread the ball through to Granger, but intercepted. Still with the Hong Kong Football Club. Norman looking for the corner. Lane allowing the ball to run. And safety first from KCC. Steve May. Fitz. Granger. Fitz again. A long ball. Somewhat sloppy there. Graham Lane's trying to encourage the team to stay up, keep the pressure on KCC.
Yeah, at this stage, you know, obviously ideally you want to try and get an equaliser, but it's almost as well losing 3-1 as in just a tame 2-1, if you like.
That pressure gets the throw in for Hong Kong Football Club. KCC somewhat nervous, not looking to try and retain possession at this moment. Defending numbers. Granger trying to turn to Gonçalves, out to Fitz. Side foot into the corner, but too easy for the goalkeeper. No power on that. Was never going to trouble Daniel Schick.
It's amazing on that little passage of play how everybody, apart from obviously Hong Kong Football goalkeeper, was in the last 30 yards of the pitch. Colin almost just camped out waiting for them to come.
May. Granger. May.
Good tackle.
Page happy to see the ball out. Ian Nelson, a substitute for KCC. Norman brings the ball forward. Granger makes himself available. Can't turn his defender though. Gonçalves did very well there, not giving away the free kick and snuffing out any danger.
No, I have to say that's the one thing about the sort of local defenders, as we call them. Most of them are no nonsense and very rarely take chances.
Fitz on the right-hand side. With the exception of the Hong Kong Football Club goalkeeper, every player within 25 yards of the KCC goal. Back to the wall defending. Unfortunately, defenders shooting as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny how the game goes. You know, like at 2-0 they looked very comfortable, but now all of a sudden they're a bit nervy.
So we're coming towards the last minute of the game. Hong Kong desperately looking for an equaliser. Referee thought about a penalty, but there's a way to play on. Grady loses possession. May back again. Norman. Loses possession himself. Grady content to take more seconds off the clock. Puts the ball out of play.
Yeah, I think he did that to get off as well. He's actually gone off now as well, Grady.
Well, he contributed the second goal. The way he was walking away after celebrating the goal, it looked like he might be carrying a slight knock.
Yeah, I don't know whether it was because he ran so far, whether he was kidding or whether he actually did have a hamstring problem. Maybe an excuse for him to get a day off work tomorrow.
So Ian Nelson with a break now. He's got a man outside him. Finds him. McGonigal. Nelson again shoots. And makes absolutely certain this is a KCC victory. In the last seconds of the game, down to the last 10 seconds.
I take it by his reaction, he's not a goal scorer.
Number 2, Ian Nelson.
He doesn't score too many goals, Ian Nelson, but nicely tucks away the winner.
Great, because he kept running, you know, and this was very unselfish. Could have shot himself. Great press, and then it just catches the goalkeeper by surprise, who's diving the other way. But a good win for Cowling.
So that is the first piece of silverware decided. That is the plate final of the men's Masters competition here at the Hong Kong Football Club Citibank Soccer Sevens. So congratulations to them and also to the runners-up. It's Hong Kong Football Club. Yeah. So the crowd are there, enjoying themselves. As Peter Beardsley take a rest. Chris Greenacre, who's the Wellington coach.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, thank you for joining me up here in the commentary position this afternoon. The game in front of us, we have Leicester City, who are playing in their change strip of black and gold, and Shanghai SIPG playing in the red and white stripes. Sorry, the red and black stripes, I should say. So, Chris, been an interesting tournament for you guys. Your first introduction to Sevens football here in Hong Kong.
Yeah, it's been a great introduction. Obviously, you're new to the tournament. Kind of don't know what to expect, but no, it's been, I think, a great learning curve for a lot of our young players in particular. So, yeah, we've got a great game to look forward to with Atletico Madrid, and yeah, we'll see what happens.
So for the look of your squad, you look to bring a mixed team of youth and experience. Yeah,
I mean, our experienced players are sort of only 21, 22 years of age, so they're not old by any stretch. You know, we've got 5 or 6, 17-year-olds. Got an amateur centre-back who's looking to hopefully push for a pro contract this season, and yeah. So, but there is that little bit of you know, quality in the older boys, and I think they've excelled here.
So the first shot for Leicester City, Jet McCork not quite getting hold of that, scuffing it across the face of goal. Shanghai here for their first time as well. Shanghai SIPG playing the Chinese National League. Have some private money behind them, but looking to spend big money and turn the club into what they are describing as the Chinese Manchester United. Sven-Goran Eriksson coaches the first team. So something of a revolution in Chinese football, Chris, when so much money is being pumped into it.
Absolutely, I think in the probably top 3 or 4 divisions in Europe, I think that their spending's outclassed any of those. I think so. You know, we can only dream of those kind of funds, but it's the way the game's gone at the moment, and you know, the teams with the most money can go and you know, buy whoever they want. It makes it difficult for younger players to push through, you know, and get in the first team. And you know, obviously, so you know, you get those good quality young players don't get that chance, but hopefully the sort of lesser clubs can thrive and really coach these kids, and in the future have really good young talent coming through.
Leicester City putting Shanghai under pressure. The ball's coming away. Yau is breaking up play. This is the first semi-final of the main competition plate. Leicester City, former winners of this competition, finding themselves knocked out of the main, and still in chance of some silverware. Bit of a shove in the back. Jet McCork letting the Shanghai player know he was there. Referee issues a yellow card. Not happy with that. Shanghai have brought a fairly experienced team with them this weekend. A number of their players playing first team football. Jiang, the goalkeeper. Ball stolen by Davis. Chance to run up centre of the pitch, pushes the ball out wide to the left-hand side. Paniatu's waiting in the middle. Possession once more Davis. McCourt. Ball being played down the right-hand side of Leicester. a.e.t wants the ball to feet. Crowded out by the Shanghai defence.
Yeah, it was I thought it was a close call for a penalty to begin with, but the referee made the right decision, I think, in the end.
Shanghai push forward. Feng. Cao and Feng. Slow build-up from Shanghai, just giving a sniff of the ball to Leicester City, which gives away possession. Allowing Leicester to give Johnny Madison a first touch of the ball in their goal. Early ball down the left-hand side this time, Leicester. An overlap from Elder. a.e.t in the middle. Just overstruck. No chance for a.e.t to get on the end of that. Harry a.e.t is a former winner of Player of the Tournament here 2 years ago when Leicester City were crowned champions. Ball given away by both sides. Shen. Shanghai having to play with their backs to goal. With some overlapping. Shen again. Lin, one of the goal scorers from yesterday. Nice turn from him. The ball just flicked away. Captain Lee getting involved. But a break now on for Leicester City. a.e.t, just the defender and the goalkeeper to beat. First time shot just whistled past the post. Great counter-attacking play from Leicester City.
Yeah, great counter-attacking. When they attacked there, it was a great opportunity to have a finish from a tight angle. But then it just shows the beauty of this tournament. As soon as you don't take your chances or take an opportunity to try and score or have a strike at goal, you find yourself vulnerable at the back. So it was a cracking counter-attack from Leicester.
So half-time is whistled by the referee. It's Leicester City 0, Shanghai SIPG 0. This is the first of the plate semi-finals in the main competition. Shanghai making their first visit, Leicester City their third. They've been very successful in coming here, Leicester. Always bring a good team. As we see the presentation to the runners-up in the Masters Plate. It's the Hong Kong Football Club Chairman Select receiving their medals. Goal scorer on the left-hand side, Simon Page.
Well, congratulations there to
gave them a chance when it went to 2-1. But breakaway goal at the death ended any hopes they had. 3-1 winners, KCC. Congratulations to the runners-up and to Grabo, Tony Hamilton and Scott Semple, the management team.
And ladies and gentlemen, your winners, KCC veterans.
So we move now to the winners of that competition, the Masters Plate, KCC veterans, another local Hong Kong side, deservedly running out. 3-1 winners in the end. Players receiving their winners' medals. Ian Nolan, number 2, scoring the goal at the death. Came on as a substitute. Settled the game beyond all doubt.
Big screen score, and you will see them there. The winners.
Many congratulations to KCC veterans.
Citibank Soccer Sevens, Masters Plate.
Daniel Sheck, the goalkeeper, kept them in the game with a couple of good saves. And delight on the faces of the KCC players. And the champagne will be flowing later on this afternoon, I'm sure.
I'm sure it will. I'm probably on top of the rest of the champagne being sucked already this week.
So as that presentation completes, the second half will just have kicked off. Leicester City versus Shanghai. Leicester City playing in a change strip of gold and black. a.e.t with the first attack, snuffed out by Shanghai. They try to turn something of this into attack of their own. But Elder snuffs it out. Throw in. Barnby. Didn't see too much of him in the first half. Ball not wide. For a corner kick. Elder will go over to take it. Looks to play it short. One of the Leicester City players just got caught there. Referee didn't see anything illegal in that. But the Leicester City player none too pleased with the contact.
No, didn't see it myself. But yeah, the referee certainly missed it.
Jack Barnby thought there was something illegal in that, but the plays back in. Bit of wrestling going on.
Yeah.
And another yellow card. Joe Davis being penalised. Classic bit of back again by the forward.
Yeah, he did it pretty well. You know, and the defender's just got to stand there and kind of accept it. The striker's not going anywhere, but it's a cheap yellow card, and you know, evidently, you know, in this type of competition that could cost you. So you know, a silly booking really.
A second yellow card will result in a one-match suspension. All the yellow cards from yesterday got wiped off, so everybody comes into the Sunday competition with a clean slate. Shanghai trying to push forwards. No free kick that time. Ali Cisse tidying up. And a.e.t out on the right-hand side. He's got an overlap. Makes the run himself into the box. Ball not released quickly enough. Shanghai come away with possession with Shen. Just one player up for Shanghai. But they've got more support now. Feng cuts inside onto his left foot, shapes a shoot. Not too much on the shot, and easy for Leicester to tidy up. a.e.t can't keep it in. Thought the ball was running down past him and was going to stay in, and misjudged that.
Yeah, he did. It was a great break. I think they overloaded it on the far side with two Leicester players on the other side of the field. I thought the centre-back probably made the wrong decision. But if the guy would have kept it in, I'm sure he would have caused Shanghai some problems, because they'd put numbers forward and left themselves quite vulnerable with the 1 against 3 at the back.
Shanghai will get the throw. Just 3.5 minutes gone in this second half. Score remains 0-0. Shanghai in possession. Through the middle, looking to cause some trouble in the Leicester City box. There's an opening now. Shen has to churn, but solid defending. Joe Davis gets himself in the way. May have twisted his knee, but looks to be okay. Shanghai with a few minutes of pressure.
Yeah, the half-time break, I think, just gave Shanghai a little burst of energy. They've had quite a bit of the play in the second half and been close to taking their opportunities.
As so often is the way, the first goal, especially late in a game, will seal it with so little time to come back. And
I think your tactics, you know, obviously changed slightly, obviously, because you now have to come out and attack, and then leaves you vulnerable yourself. And for the neutral, it's quite an exciting finish. So hopefully we can see a goal and see that tempo improve in the latter stages.
Leicester City in possession. Cisse pushed it out wide. Paniatu to come across. Leicester can't quite create anything. Through the middle to Wang. Out on the right-hand side. Break now, an opportunity. Jiang, number 4, couldn't quite get hold of that. Seen him score goals earlier in this competition, but the shot not even troubling the goalkeeper.
Yeah, he took the wrong decision. Here you see him takes a touch, other than shoot. He's got support in the box. He probably should have took it around the goalkeeper and gave his oncoming striker a striker goal. But that's why they get paid the big bucks as strikers to take those opportunities. That selfishness is something you don't really want to take from strikers. But on that situation, he made the wrong option.
So a 3-on-1 chance here for Leicester City. Can they finish it? Yes, they can. That's a bit more like it for Leicester. Jack McCall, 3-on-1 for Leicester City. Makes no mistake.
That shows the cost of the chance Shanghai have just had. Just making the right decision in the box. He made the wrong decision. Leicester have gone the other end and scored, so you must take your chances and make the right decisions in and around the box.
So see McCork opens his body.
Yeah. Good first touch, good composure. Keeper had no chance. Good side footed to the near post.
So that could be the deciding goal in this match with so little time left. Possession straight back to Leicester City. Madison will take his time. Rolls the ball out, doesn't want to make the big punt up pitch and lose the ball. But McCourt does the necessary, scores a single goal that puts Leicester City into the final later on in the afternoon in the plate competition. So congratulations to them and goodbye to Shanghai, who've acquitted themselves pretty well this weekend. Shanghai have acquitted themselves pretty well this weekend.
Yeah, definitely. I think they showed the experience that they brought with their team. The conditions of tournament are obviously familiar to them, and we're always going to be there and thereabouts to the end of the tournament. It's been they've got some fantastic individual players, and it was certainly a stern test for Leicester. But I think ultimately, as I mentioned earlier, you need to take your chances, and Shanghai had the perfect opportunity within 30 seconds of Leicester scoring. So but again, it's judged on goals, and Leicester took their chances very, very well. I think Leicester have counter-attacked very, very well, and ultimately scored the goal, and wish Leicester all the very best in the final.
3, Sebastian Fiedler. 4, Robert Scott. 6, Andrew Wild. 5, Andreas Thorsen. 12, Thomas Holder. 10, Michael Hampshire. And for Captain Select in 1, Issy Maholo.
So this is the second semi-final of the plate competition, and we have a matchup of 2 Hong Kong Football Club teams, which is the Captain Select versus the Hong Kong Football Club. That will be their first team, who are playing in blue, and the Select are playing in white. So the first chance for the football club. Through the goalkeeper, Freddie Toomer. First team goalkeeper. Rob Scott. Ball overrun there. Looks like there may be an injury. Sebastian Fiedler has gone down. Looks like that may be something nasty.
Yeah, it doesn't look good. He took a great touch out with his feet, and there you see him just pull up. He sucked the defender in, saw the space in behind, but unfortunately he's looks like a groin, so we hope he's okay, but that could be probably the end of his tournament.
The players signalling to the bench to make a substitution. Physio's coming over. Sebastian Fiedler was a goal scorer in the previous round to get the football club into this position, into the semi-final. They'll be very disappointed with that. An early substitution sees Scott Hooper come on. Ramage to Bacon. John Ramage, also a player with the football club first team. These players will know each other very, very well. Always makes a big difference when you're playing against people you know. Adds a bit of extra spice. Looking for movement. But all the way through to Tuma, goalkeeper Rob Scott. Usually acts as the playmaker for the football club. And Tuma, one of the more adventurous goalkeepers in the tournament. You see plenty of him outside his area.
Yeah, you do. He's got great feet for a goalkeeper, and like you say, he's very, very confident on the ball. As you see, just venturing over the halfway line. And I mean, that's a great ball into the striker's feet, and it always gives you that little bit of an advantage having a goalkeeper with, you know, that confidence to come out and really start and dictate play. It just gives you an advantage to obviously start play in the opposition's half, and providing it doesn't give the first pass away. But yeah, no, it's good to see. It's the way the game's going, and the goalkeepers nowadays need to be much better with their feet, and it's great to see him really getting involved in the outfield play.
Michael Hampshire with the first real chance of the game, putting the ball over the bar.
I think as a newcomer as well, it's I think the quality in goalkeeping throughout the tournament, from the young players to the master players, has been quite exceptional. And so full credit to the senior guys who've still got that appetite and still in good condition and really enjoying this tournament.
Yes, the standard has been particularly good this year. Bit of extra spice added from around the world. Teams like British own Wellington Phoenix coming in from New Zealand, and their opposition later in the day from Spain, Atletico Madrid.
Yeah, I mean, it's a mouth-watering tie, particularly for our young players. You know the qualities that they're going to bring. Technically a very, very good side. Like to play the game the right way, and it's going to be a real tough ask. But we're in there, and we've played some decent stuff ourselves, and it's an opportunity. For the young players, we want it to be as difficult as possible, and the only way you do that is playing against the best players. And but as I say, we're in there, and we're going to give it our best shot. I mean, we've really enjoyed this tournament, and if we could have had the opportunity from before the draw was made to say you'd be playing Atletico Madrid in a semi-final, we would have taken that.
You'd be very happy with that.
Absolutely. So we're, as I say, we're in it, and we'll see how we go.
Yeah, Atletico has caused some fireworks in more ways than one over this weekend, and we'll look forward to that game a little bit later in the afternoon. But in front of us here we have Hong Kong Football Club, the first team in blue, playing against the captain select in white. Still 0-0. Rather cagey game. Neither team creating too many opportunities.
Not really. A lot of the play's just been in front of both teams. Neither team really committing men forward or being very direct. I say that, and the goalkeeper punts it as long as he can. The curse of the commentator.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think when you're new to the tournament, I think instinctively with no offside, you think teams are going to be really direct. And I've been impressed with some of the football that's been played throughout the tournament, from the masters to the younger players. It's great to see teams getting the ball down and trying to do the right things and creating lots of opportunities. I think the offside issue just adds that bit of extra spice and a bit of excitement. I think it's been fantastic.
Bit of a clash of heads there. Ramage and Hampshire.
Yeah, as you can see, both players totally committed for the ball. Both got eyes on the ball. You know, nothing in it, and that's what you want to see. As I said, it's great to see the senior players taking it so seriously, and you know, it really means something to them.
Hampshire's trying to turn. Oh, and got off a great shot. The goalkeeper had to get something on that.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a good. He uses the to feel the centre back. It's a great little turn, touch out with his feet, trying to call it. It's going right in the bottom corner, but that's terrific goalkeeping. Great save.
Hooper with the corner, but no time for that to make a difference. Referee blows up for half-time. 7 minutes gone, so it's Hong Kong Football Club 0, and the captains select also 0. Very cagey first half. We'll need to see it opening up a little bit in the second half.
Yeah,
if anybody's going to win anything.
Yeah, I mean, that would have been a terrific time to score right on half-time. Keeper's made a great save. I wonder how important that's going to be in the grand scheme of things. But as you say, I think the teams need to really take a chance now and really go at the other team. I doubt both teams want to go into extra time. But you know, hopefully we can see 1 or 2 more opportunities this half and really open the game up.
There's a coaching team of Paul Foster and Terry Harris giving the first team some directions. Paul Foster, a very accomplished player in his time, and Terry Harris spent some time at Sheffield United, so there's plenty of footballing knowledge being imparted to the players at half-time.
Yeah, I think a bit more of the same, but as I mentioned before, just try and take that chance, try and be a little bit more creative, and when the opportunity arises, really take it and get your noses in front, and then the other team's got to come out and attack you. So hopefully we can see an early goal and see the game open up.
So Football Club get us off. Andrew Wild, second half substitute. Tuma used as the 7th outfield player so effectively by Football Club. We're yet to see him get caught out, but there's always the opportunity of a quick break, but he uses his pace very well.
Yeah, he's quick as well, so he gives himself the opportunity to get out of. But I mean, that's his service is great. I mean, look at that, he just set the attack up.
So Wild on the overlap. Can't get the ball in, having to turn away. And come all the way back to Tuma.
In essence, he becomes your centre-back or a holding midfield player. And like you can see, the players are confident in his ability. There you see again. I mean, there's a great big space in front of him now if he's brave enough to attack that space.
Coaching staff may have a few words to say about it if he gets too much further forward.
It's quite easy commentating it, as I say, as a coach. I think I'll be telling to get back a little bit.
Yeah. So, Hampshire, back to Alder. Tommy Alder has scored earlier in the tournament. Couldn't get the ball out from under his feet there. Cuddy. Now Cox back to Cuddy. No slipper out to Abbas. He's going back to Maholo, the goalkeeper. Maholo playing as the 7th man for the chairmans. Thomas Cuddy plays for Club Albion, who were champions of the Yau Yee League First Division this season. So already has some silverware to his name this year.
There's a terrific battle going on here in the box, off the ball.
Robbie Baker. Great piece of skill to bring the ball down, and on the turn just couldn't get it on target.
No, off the ball, there's been a terrific battle between these two. And Bacon there just got the best of the centre-back. Great first touch. I think the goalkeeper did very, very well just to close the space down and narrow that angle and just put him off.
Ramis comes forward. Release Cox. First time shot. Just wide of the post.
Good attack there. It's probably his best option was probably to shoot across the goal there. It looks like he's gone to hit it the near post. If he hits it across the goal, it gives the goalkeeper a harder decision to make, and Bacon was just in an area to pounce on to get the rebound. But if you go in the near post, you don't give yourself an option to have that second opportunity. So a poor shot, really.
So there's one opportunity goes begging at one end. Play goes down the other. Cuddy looking to release Shipper. It's the ball out of play. Rob Scott, first team player, and taking on his usual 11-a-side colleague, Frederick Slipper. They know each other very well. So some battling in the box at the other end. Slipper. Bacon with some space to run into, looking for some support. Cox is coming up in the middle. Goes across. Plays a lovely little ball, but just too much in front of Slipper, who needed to be the other side of the defender.
He did, yeah. I think he came the wrong side. He needed to just give a little bit more width, I think. But it was a good counter-attack. He had options either side of him, but unfortunately he made the wrong decision.
Nice turn and an early ball out. Jordan Brown, who's joined the game as a substitute here in the second half. Just coming up to 5 minutes gone. 2 more minutes to go. The score still 0-0. It's just going to take a little bit of composure, a little bit of skill, Chris, to break the deadlock in this game.
Yes, it's been quite cagey, as we said. Not many opportunities. But it'd be really great to see one of the teams take a chance, maybe push another extra player forward. It does leave you a little bit vulnerable, but
Scott turns inside, wants to go into his favoured left foot. Just takes that extra bit of time to have to walk round his right foot to get it onto his left.
Yeah,
and the opportunity, I think, just disappeared.
Absolutely. If he would have hit it early with his right foot, would it probably give him a better chance.
Get a Cuddy.
Oh
no. Is this the difference? Yes, it is. One mistake is all it took. And that's Michael Hampshire has broken the deadlock.
Yeah, in strange circumstances. We haven't seen many opportunities, and it's obviously taken a mistake. But Hampshire, like any good forward player, he pounces on the mistake. A little bit of indecision making, and then he goes, nips in, still keeps his composure to show great feet across the goalkeeper and taps it in.
Yes, it was indeed still a little bit of work to do, but Hampshire with the drag across has put Hong Kong Football Club 1-0 up with 30 seconds left to go. Could this be the last throw of the dice? McGillicuddy. Early ball into Bacon. He's made some space. The shot! Just whistles past the top corner. And that was so close for the...
Yeah, his first touch was fantastic. Took it back inside. There you see the ball into his feet. Love the touch. His teammate was just coming around him. Maybe was the better option, but that instinct of being a striker, he decided to take it, and being 1-0 up, why not? But yeah, it's a shame it's taken a mistake, to give us this result. But they've done very well to get that. Both teams worked pretty hard. Not a lot in it, and unfortunately it was a mistake. But there we go.
And that was indeed the last action of that game. Hong Kong Football Club beating the Captains Select 1-0. And they will progress to the late final.
比賽嘅時間咧將會係3:24分。
So the next matchup, Aston Villa versus the Yau Yee Select. That's in the main Shield semi-final. For those teams that couldn't progress, through the quarterfinals of the cup competition, have now gone into
the first semi-final in the main Shield competition between Aston Villa and the Yau Yee League Select. And your lineups for Aston Villa: in 1, Bradley Watkins; 2,
Aston Villa are playing in their familiar
4, Niall Mason;
claret and blue.
8, Ricardo Calder; 9, Jarrell Sellers;
Yau Yee in shocking pink. And joining me after Chris Aker has departed to look after his Wellington team is Neil Jensen of the Hong Kong Football Club. Good afternoon, Neil.
Good afternoon, Peter.
2, Sebastian Beer; and 11.
So we have Aston Villa of the Premier League versus the Yau Yee Select. The Yau Yee League being one of the top amateur football organisations in Hong Kong, selecting their best players to represent them here in the Sevens for the 16th consecutive year.
Yeah, they've done very well. The amateur league, but very competitive here in Hong Kong.
And the first shot for Aston Villa, Thomas Leggett coming up from the back, shooting the ball across, not troubling the goalkeeper Eugene Can, who's had a fairly impressive tournament so far in goal for the Yau Yee.
He's made some fabulous saves. He's kept them in it in some games, but they've punched above their weight, it's fair to say, so it'll be interesting to see how they get on against Aston Villa, Peter.
A little bit too casual at the back. Can able to collect. Going to need to get the game restarted. Does so. Nakamura unable to get hold of that. Aston Villa, Neil, will probably be somewhat disappointed to be in the Shield rather than in the main cup competition.
They've got a great history in this competition, and it wouldn't have been what they planned for this weekend, but they are where they are and they'll want to go on and win this now.
Mason hasn't started too many games this weekend, Niall Mason, but been brought on to start this game. Jarrell Sellers, scorer of a few goals in an overlap from Calder. It's the ball across, McCurdy, just rolling wide. Some last-ditch defending there from the Yau Yee. The ball straight back into play. Corner taken quickly. Villa trying to find the space for a shot. Just misses past the post. And that was Sellers. He's been dangerous this weekend.
He has, he's got some pace, he's tricky. The Yau Yee League have really got to dig in for the first few minutes here.
Cody Box knocks the ball long, clears the box. Sebastian Beer diving in. But Villa maintain possession. Shot from distance, thumped away. Jamie Groves, his full weight behind that. Too easily cut out by Sellers. Cuts inside. Ball out to McCurdy. Keeps it in. Sellers. Always wanted to take someone on. Knocks the ball out to Leggett. Sellers again. Looking to turn. Get the shot off. And referee Mike Jones awards a corner. Sellers has been very dangerous this weekend. He already has a few goals to his name. Seller. His cross just too high. Leggett couldn't get on that.
Just riding the luck a little bit, aren't they? Yau Yee League select, but 4 minutes in, still level. I'd like to think that they could maybe try and catch Villa on the break, but they've got to try and keep the ball a little bit better than they are at the moment.
Nakamura crowded out by 2 players. That's cont'd. He's put McCurdy in. And a lovely finish from McCurdy. Just slipping the ball past the goalkeeper, who expected a near post finish, but it was just knocked in at the far post.
Yeah, as I say, they've got to keep the ball, Peter, and they haven't. They've given it away. Through ball. Nice little toe poke finish.
Calder feeding McCurdy. And that's 1-0 to Aston Villa against the Yau Yee select. Getting the game going again. Jamie Groves plays for Squadron, Yau Yee First Division team. Extra ball on the pitch, referee wants that off. And there's Mike Jones of the English Premier League, spending the weekend here at the Hong Kong Football Club as a guest and officiating throughout the weekend. Villa tidy up at the back through Watkins. Watkins keeps the ball in play. Leggett back to Watkins in goal. But they're content just to wait for the openings. Sellers ball not struck hard enough for Calder. And Eugene Can tidies up nicely. Lovely jump from Calder. But time for Villa to break again. They've got 3-on-2 if they're quick. Here's Sellers. Oh, that was great defending. Jamie Groves, who tracked back from losing the ball originally in the halfway line to block that shot.
He ran a long way, Peter, didn't he? Very, very brave. Great timing with that tackle. Corner to Villa.
And it's Sellers with it. Curdy's come short. Back with Sellers. Leggett behind him. First time shot from Leggett. Never really had the angle. Too many players between him and the goal. And Can was content just to see that whistle past the post. Seven minutes gone. This game will be 10 minutes each half. Early throw. Watkins alert to it. As the game restarted. Sellers. He's got Calder again. With some space. One more. Just off the post. Calder's had 2 options there. Take the shot. Allow the ball to run on to McCurdy. He took the shot. So unlucky with the ball ricocheting back off the post. Villa exerting some real pressure now. Sellers. Leggett's outside him. Sellers probably fouled there. Referee agrees. Just outside the box.
How close to that? Yeah, that a penalty, Peter?
Just outside the box.
Oh, wow, that's a very good decision. Good placement by the referee, wasn't it?
Yes, Mike Jones was well up with play. Certainly the initial contact was outside the box. Very dangerous position, though. With a reduced number of players, there's less wall that can be built. Yau Yee looks satisfied with 1.5. Jarrell Sellers struck that sweetly enough, but couldn't miss out the first player. One man was enough in that wall.
It was. It's interesting, Peter, to see how Villa are setting up. Every now and then they've got 3 men at the back, but once or twice they're going one-on-one, and that's maybe when the Yau Yee League need to try and catch them on the break.
Well, certainly Nakamura's got plenty of space, but without the ball to move forward, Yau Yee is struggling. Still down to that single goal, scored by Harry McCurdy. Yau Yee now can break. Beers on a low overlap, he can be used. Nakamura, he's through. Can he beat the goalkeeper? He's away, he's wriggled, he's done it. So Yuki Nakamura has scored the equalising goal.
Scored by number 11, Nakamura.
A great piece of skill and persistence from Nakamura to score the equalising goal.
You can't see it from that shot, but they went one-on-one, as I just said there, and suddenly they're 3 against 3 as they broke through. I thought he'd missed the opportunity, but he's got pace, that boy, and he's a good player.
And a great time to score for the Yau Yee League. That levels the scores at 1-1 as we go into the half-time break. Nakamura the scorer for the Yau Yee League. And Harry McCurdy, scorer for Aston Villa.
10 minutes each way.
1-1 at the break.
And in the case of a tie, we will go to 4 minutes extra time. 4 players, golden
And this is the main Shield semi-final, first match. Aston Villa versus the Yau Yee League. We've still got BC Rangers versus Kitchee, a local tie to come following this game. Then Newcastle United versus West Ham United. Looking forward to that one. Newcastle, one of the better teams in the competition. And that will be followed by Wellington versus Atletico Madrid, which we're really looking forward to. Wellington and Atletico have both brought not only youth players but also some of their senior players into this competition. So the Yau Yee take stock. Management trying to impart some knowledge as the crowd take the opportunity at half-time to send a few SMSs.
Wonder what they're saying there, Peter, now. You know, they've just nicked it right at half-time. Aston Villa have probably had 5, 6, 7 chances. Yau Yee League Select have had 1. But you just need to have that one that goes in. I think Villa in the second half need to be a little bit more patient in front of goal, snatching at things, taking shots from 20 yards. You know, technically, they're going to be a slightly better team. They're a professional team. They just need to build it up now and not be impatient with their play. And be very, very careful. When they hit the post there in the first half, they were playing with 3 at the back. They went one-on-one and they got done.
Premier League referee Mike Jones gets the second half.
So the game restarts.
Aston Villa 1.
Aston Villa conceding at the death and giving the ball away in the centre. Jack Cullinane coming forwards. He's got support. The Gergen. Cullinane, nice turn from him. Did very well there to keep possession. The referee allowed play to go on, but has given the free kick. That was good play by Jones.
It was a lovely turn, and well done again to the referee. He let play go on, nothing happened, and he was brave enough to pull it back.
So a couple of substitutions have been made by the Yau Yee. Malone is on. Luca Malone plays for KCC Dragons. Into Nakamura, who despite his stature is a phenomenal holder up of the ball. And a great ball across. What a fantastic goal from the Yau Yee Select. All started from that free kick taken quickly and then into Nakamura. And Jack Willay finds the net.
It was started with the free kick beforehand by Jack. There he goes, what a great volley. He really gambled running in there. That's a super goal. Now what have Villa got?
So some questions being asked of Aston Villa now. Time for them to show some class. up the tempo and get back into this game. Leggett. Yau Yee back in numbers. cont'd to put it on his left foot. Couldn't find the target. Yau Yee standing up, defending in numbers, pushing cont'd wide, so he couldn't find the angle, and in the end spooning the ball over the high and wide. Sellers looking inside. He's got a man. Kinsella. Sellers again. Any foul? Referee waves play on. Oh, great feet there. Around the goalkeeper. Very brave from Can. That was cont'd coming in. And the goalkeeper throwing himself at the feet of the attacker. Corner taken. Sellers wins another corner. Aston Villa applying some pressure. One goal behind. Needing to get back on level terms quickly. Cross goal to Kinsella. Took his time. Finally, that's cont'd.
Equaliser for Aston Villa.
Ricardo cont'd was in the right place at the right time. The ball ricocheting around.
It's the first time in this half that they've actually passed the ball to each other. They're creating chances, but they all want to finish it. There you go. There was the effort there. And as you say, Peter, it fell in the right place at the right time. But they just need to trust the guys around them a little bit more.
So that puts the score now at 2-2. And everything to play for. Gergen. Leggett pressing him. Payne. Another second half substitute. Showed a little bit too much of that to Sellers. Payne being manhandled there. Sellers was all over Payne. The referee takes control. Thurman will restart the game. cont'd putting in some defensive work after just scoring the equaliser. But the ball's across to Nakamura. Couldn't control it with his head. Gets himself the right side of the defender and wins a free kick. Nakamura causing all sorts of trouble for Aston Villa.
He's just a couple of inches taller. He'd have scored there, Peter.
That may have been said before. Malone over the free kick. Waiting for his teammates to get organised. It's a poor one, though, and easy for Aston Villa. But certainly in the second half, the Yau Yee, through their application and organisation, have really put Villa under pressure.
They are. I'm not sure Villa would have expected this before the game. They've got a real battle here these last 5 minutes. Very hard to call it. Just need to build this up carefully now.
cont'd. And Sellers. Shapes to shoot. cont'd and Sellers dominating the centre of the park. cont'd struck it sweetly enough. Couldn't find the target. The referee thinks the goalkeeper got a hand on it.
He's made the chance. Good save by the keeper, but could he have pulled that ball across? Number 9 waiting there? Maybe.
Strikers are always prone to shoot. Too many of them that will be laying the ball off in those sort of situations. cont'd again. Quick feet. Crowd are loving that. But the defenders are not falling for it.
It's got to be a Soccer 7's record. There's about 10 step-overs there.
Some very fast feet from cont'd.
I think your record was 6, Peter.
That was in a season, though. McCurdy on the edge of the area. Lovely strike. Eugene Can, look at his fist behind that. No quarter given in this second half. The tackles and the shots are flying in. Coming up to 3 minutes left to go. Aston Villa still with a bit of work to do if they want to win this game.
I wonder now, 3 minutes to go. Villa have been here so many times before. What are the Yau Yee coaches are thinking, who's the four going to be? But they can't afford to do that because there's chances here. The keeper's keeping them in at the moment, Peter. He really is. He's having a fabulous game. He's had a great tournament.
Well, there's an individual battle between Sellers and the goalkeeper, Can. And at the moment, it's Can that's winning it. No hesitation there from the referee. That was a free kick. Villa get the ball back. Out to Leggett. He was seeing a lot more of the ball in the first half. Not so much this half. Lucky to get that back, going on his own. Mike Thurman getting it footed.
What's happened here, Peter, is Yau Yee have put an extra striker on. They're hoping to play with the 5 at the back and knock the long ball. Villa are 1-on-1 at the back at the moment. 2-on-2. Here we go.
So Chris Davis doesn't get his first touch. Oh, but that's well played. Chris Davis has scored over 100 goals in his Yau Yee career. And has been one of the best players for the German All-Stars for many seasons.
1 minute left now. Do they go for it? Do they hold and gamble on 4 against 4?
Malone. Nakamura. A player in front of him. Opportunity. Comes across the face of the goal. Chris Davis had perhaps overcommitted. Didn't expect the ball to be pulled back. Josh Payne causing all sorts of problems with that ball back. Malone just demonstrating the application that Yau Yee have shown in this game.
Is there time for one last chance?
30 seconds to go. Calder. Chance to run at the Yau Yee defence. Malone is standing up. Sellers. Another body is thrown in the way. Thurman this time. Shots are raining in on the Yau Yee goal, but the defence has stood tall. Taylor. His chance to shoot. And the referee has blown his whistle. Mike Jones brings this clash to an end. 2-2, Aston Villa to the Yau Yee Select. So, under these circumstances, this game will go to a sudden death playoff.
Whatever happens here, the Yau Yee League Select team should be very, very proud of what they've achieved here. They've taken Aston Villa to extra time. Aston Villa won this tournament before, been coming here for many, many years. I don't think they expected this.
So some words of encouragement from Matthew Seddon. There's Nakamura. Plays for the Swiss 11. One of 2 Japanese expatriates to play for a team of mainly Swiss. But his reputation precedes him in the Yau Yee League as a very dangerous striker.
They've got some fit players, Yau Yee Select, but this is all about winning the kick-off and keeping the ball and pulling the trigger at the right time. Villa know what to do. Let's see who takes the keeper's gloves for both teams. Rarely the goalkeeper plays in 4 against 4. Normally an outfield player, the bottom of the diamond.
In fact, both teams are shunning convention.
Wow.
And keeping their goalkeepers.
Very, very interesting.
So Eugene Cam will keep goal and be the 4th player for the Yau Yee, and Bradley Watkins will fulfill that role. Mike Jones gets us started with a bounce. And Aston Villa with the all-important bounce. Sebastian Beer gives away a free kick. So Villa in possession. Watkins. Sellers. Some fresh players on for both sides. Sebastian Beer for Yau Yee and Rory Hale for Aston Villa. Sellers once again. Very greedy. Calder had his arms out. I was here in space, he's saying. So the ball is now in the possession of the Yau Yee. Someone needs to go short. Someone is Seb Beer. So Cam brings out the ball for the Yau Yee League. There's an overlap, the ball is given away. Perhaps an example there of the need to replace the goalkeeper with an outfield player.
He's barely come off. He's had a great game, Peter, but he's barely come off his line. I was very surprised when they put him in. We saw Freddie Toomer in previous game playing high on the pitch. Villa keeper looks quite comfortable with it.
Watkins has just played a 35-yard ball straight onto the toe of Niall Mason.
You saw it in the USRC game how they would build the play up slowly. Villa need to get back here. He just needs to play a short pass. It doesn't have to go long.
Nakamura.
There's the ball. Can he see it? Now they've got to support him.
So Beer's got the ball. Has he got any support? With Nakamura in front of the goalkeeper, very brave from Watkins. Punching the ball. Referee Mike Jones just making sure that everybody's okay. There's a bit of blood there. That's very unfortunate for Watkins. That shows the risk that goalkeepers can take. Flying in with a punch. And good to see him standing up. I think the boot just catching him. Nakamura's heel, just as he's tried to flick the ball back. He's taken Watkins on the side of the head. Watkins will have to lead the field of play. Now, under usual circumstances, there's no substitutes allowed in this, but I would think for a blood injury such as this, a replacement will be allowed.
I don't know whether you heard it at home, but on the big screen here, they showed it again, and there was just a "oh" from the crowd as the boot hit his head. That's a nasty one. No intent, of course. Very brave from the goalkeeper. Well done to the referee for stopping it. That's a minute's passed already.
Very sporty shake of hands there for the two players involved in that incident. Watkins will need to get some treatment on that. There's no way that he can continue. Football, like most sports these days, any blood injury, players leave the field of play. Player safety is paramount, of course.
I wonder if somebody's asking on the sideline now, what happens? Can we sub him? Can we put somebody on?
Undoubtedly there'll be some discussions going on, but there will be a replacement, and a warm round of applause from the packed crowd here at the Hong Kong Football Club. Might have a little scar there to show the girls in future years.
There's a bib going on here. He won't want the shirt. Interesting to see what they do with the time. It was about, I think it was about 2 minutes when this happened. We've now got 4:15 on the clock. 2 minutes, the referee's saying.
2 minutes left. So Villa are indeed allowed to put a replacement in goal.
That's a little bit of a shame. You know, Yau Yee had the ball there. Possession's all that counts in 4 against 4.
The ball's with Sellers. Cont'd. Mason. Turns inside. Can equal to it once more. Can Yau Yee get possession? Here clears the lines. It's only back as far as the last Villa player. Sellers tries to come inside. Gergen is equal to it. Shot from outside the area. Wasted. Would have hoped for something a little bit more constructive from Villa then.
I just want to see them pass the ball. It's a little bit naive at the moment. I've got to say, for what the Yau Yee League select have lost in football in terms from having the goalkeeper in, he's made a couple of good saves. Just be calmer with this ball here. Probably got about 15 seconds left. Oh, here's something.
There's Nakamura. Has he got the chance to turn? No support. Beer coming now. Nakamura tries to get onto his left foot. Sellers does some great defending. And McGurgan puts the ball out of the ground. Not too much time left now. Perhaps a last attack. Can Beer keep this in? Yes, he can. He's got Nakamura if he can find him. Oh, the crowd tells you everything about that ball across the face of the goal. Nakamura in all sorts of space. Oh, the referee's blown the whistle though. Niall Mason was there. But so was Mike Jones with the whistle.
Oh, at the end of extra time, we now go to penalties. The best from 5. Best from 5.
So best of 5 penalties.
And anyone can take a penalty.
This begs the question, who will go in goal for Aston Villa?
All 10 players come back into play. But
with the injury that
I would imagine that a lot of Vaseline
Bradley Watkins
and some tape and everything has been applied. I don't know where he is. There's maybe a few bandages getting wrapped around his head right now.
A Terry Butcher moment.
Terry Butcher, Paul Ince.
So at this stage in the competition, it's best of 5 penalties. And with all 10 players eligible to take a kick, teams now will be
a reminder that any player
asking for volunteers, I'm sure.
But this is the best of 5 penalties.
What that game lacked in quality at certain times, it certainly made up for in entertainment, didn't it? That 4 against 4 defied convention, but it was great fun to watch.
So the game finishing 2-2 in normal time. Then to the 4 minutes of sudden death playoff. Aston Villa losing their goalkeeper, Bradley Watkins, to a nasty cut above the eye. But neither team could find the net in that 4 minutes. So now 5 penalties for each team will decide who will go through to the final of the Shield competition in the main draw. Gordon Cowans, Aston Villa legend, European Cup winner.
I don't think the keeper's coming back, you know, Peter. I don't think he is.
Will we see the Aston Villa keeper coming back? Doesn't look like it.
Wow.
Well, there he is, all bandaged up.
The gloves are about to change hands.
There we go.
I'm sure he is. He's hugging him. I'm sure he's mightily relieved.
Yes, I imagine that that Aston Villa player is very happy to be handing the gloves back to the goalkeeper. Yau Yee team in a huddle. Perhaps doing paper, scissors, stone for who takes penalties.
At the sportsman's bar end of the ground, there's people clamouring to watch this. Wonder what the coaches, Peter, are saying of the teams waiting to come on the next game. Focus on your game. Don't worry about this. Don't be thinking about this. A lot of people just love to stop and look at penalty shootout.
Well, the teams on in the following games. BC Rangers against Kitchees, the next one up.
First penalty taker for the Yau Yee League, number 5, captain Jamie Groves.
So Yau Yee will take first, and Jamie Groves is the first penalty taker. He is the captain. Responsibility, well taken. Bartlett got a hand to it, but it wasn't quite enough. So Groves taking a captain's responsibility and the first one. Jarrell Sellers will take the first penalty for Aston Villa. He's a striker, and you always expect your strikers to step up when the penalty shootouts come along.
He's hit the target.
Now Eugene Can and Sellers have been battling each other this whole game, and Sellers has the final word, puts away his penalty. Keeper went the right way, but enough direction and pace. So that's 1-1 after one each. Malone is next. Oh, plenty of confidence there. Luca Malone from the KCC Dragons.
He ran from the halfway line to take that penalty, and he was wasting no time at all. No time to even think about it.
He was not going to miss. Cancella is next, and it was in fact Cancella that was playing the goalkeeper's role. The Bartlett went off. Cancella, no problems.
2-2.
Sweetly struck and dispatched. So 4 penalties taken, 4 penalties scored. Steve McGurgan plays for Monsters, actually in the 2nd division of the Yau Yee. Straight down the middle. Very confident from McGurgan. Scored twice yesterday and dispatched his penalty.
Rory Hale for Aston Villa.
Rory Hale we didn't see too much of in that last game. He's a midfielder. Got a hand to it.
3-3.
It was 2 yards out and 2 yards up.
He'd be disappointed with that. That looked savable. Easy from here.
Seb Beer.
Sebastian Beer for the Yau Yee League.
Austrian. Plays for Club Wanderers. Very familiar with this ground. Very well taken penalty. Low into the corner, even though the keeper guessed the right way. He was never getting to that.
Niall Mason for Aston Villa.
Yau Yee currently lead 4-3. 7 penalties taken, 7 scored. Niall Mason took part in the sudden death playoff. Nothing wrong with that.
And that is 4-4.
Villa's penalties have been very, very good.
And the final of the 5 regulation penalties for Yau Yee will be taken by Nakamura.
Shunsuke Nakamura for the Yau Yee League.
Bartlett. Bradley Watkins, I should say. Goes the right way, but the power of that strike from Nakamura. So that completes the regulation 5.
Ricardo Calder.
So it comes down to Calder. Ricardo Calder, if he scores this, will continue into sudden death. Should he miss, Villa will be out and the Yau Yee will be through. So this is sudden death for Villa.